Hi, and welcome to our video series. We're starting something new in our church. It was suggested by several of our members. They want to get to know more of our members and kind of find out their stories. Typically, we call those testimonies, but when I'm talking to people outside the church, I just say, hey, tell me about your story. So, you know me, I'm Pastor Jack. This is one of our members, Isaac Lewis. And I'm going to kind of interview Isaac because he's got a really interesting, challenging, tough story in some ways, but a really good story that I think will be an encouragement to people. So, hey, just kind of give me like the 1 minute summary. Who is Isaac Lewis?
I grew up here. I grew up starting from a young age. I grew up at the church, went here, did all the VBSs and like church camps. And then right around high school, I stopped attending and kind of like strayed away from God a little bit. And then I went and joined the military and was there for 6 years, and now I'm back.
Okay. So, see, I knew him when he was growing up. I even baptized you, didn't I?
Yeah, twice.
Because he made it, yeah. So we'll talk about the second time here in a minute, because that's the exciting one. I mean, it's always exciting to baptize anybody, but he came back to me after he'd been in the military, and we had some talks, and he says, I really think I'm starting over, and I want to be baptized again. So tell us a little bit about your military. You went to the Navy, correct?
Right.
I said Army earlier, but you went to the Navy.
Yes.
And kind of watch the camera there so they can see. But tell me about that. What was Navy life like for you?
Well, I was a hospital corpsman, so I was both with the Navy and the Marines. So for 3 years, I worked in a clinic and I took care of people. This was mainly during COVID. And then after that third year mark, I went and joined the Marines, and I was in the infantry. And that's when my relationship with God kind of got a lot more strained, and I was put to the test. I kind of didn't really involve myself into like Christianity or God or the Bible or anything like that when I was in high school, because I was dissuaded from it. And then when I joined the military, it just kind of like nailed the hammer in the coffin, or the nail in the coffin, and I just kind of didn't really associate with Christianity. I knew God existed, but I was content to live in sin. And it wasn't until I started seeing the suffering and the impact that like COVID had on my patients, and then like a lot of them asking me to help them pray and like delve deep into like if I read the Bible or into my religion and why I didn't believe in them anymore, even though I had like Christian tattoos. And then when I joined the infantry, it was very, religion's kind of like, it's prominent, but it's also not very prominent. It's very skewed. A lot of the Marines have a very one-sided view on things, and they don't delve deep into like the more nitty-gritty of like how to live a life for God. So we kind of just took what we wanted and lived that way. So I was an alcoholic. I was partying and I was clubbing and living away like how everybody wants. And I even got to the point where like my mental health and it just wasn't there anymore. Like I came close to doing some very regretful things, and it wasn't until it was on one fateful night that I kind of realized that something and someone was there, and they put the hand out, and I believe it was God, because I heard a loud voice stop me from doing what I was about to do, and I was told to go read the Bible. And I read a couple of verses from Psalms and then I was persuaded to turn to Isaiah 41:10, and that's when I realized like it was God, and I decided to turn my life around and redevote myself to Him. And then that was around October of last year, and when I was kind of getting out of the military at this point, and then I started re-involving myself in the church, and I got in touch with Pastor Jack, and I think it was on Easter that I wanted to get rebaptized to redevote myself to God.
Yeah. And I was really excited because I hadn't seen Isaac much But you had some people praying for you during that time, didn't you?
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Who was praying for you?
Mainly it was my family. They didn't know I was very secluded and very isolated. I didn't have a lot of people knowing what exactly was going on, but there was one of my closest friends. He was a Marine, and he saw what I was going through, and he while we were on deployment was we would go and sit in somewhere and just read the Bible, and he would tell me his experiences, and he would pray for me, and then my mom, dad, and then I had a couple of friends from back home that would pray for me because they knew I was going through some things.
Yeah, and your mom's a member of our church
Correct.
as well, and she was praying for you all this time. Because occasionally she'd mention that to me. She never said anything in detail, but just pray for Isaac.
Yeah.
Pray for Isaac. So that's pretty cool. I want that to be an encouragement to those of you that are praying for people. You may not know what's going on in their life, but God knows. And he doesn't always answer immediately. Matter of fact, often that's one of my frustrations. God, could you work a little faster? But God knows what he's doing. And he did it in your life. So tell me what your life is now, because you kind of jumped back into church with both feet.
Yeah.
So what are you doing in church now?
So I was led to ask to help out in any way, and it led to me helping out in youth group.
Okay.
And that's pretty fun. I'm learning a lot of perspectives on how to connect with younger audiences, and then I've been signing up to help out with various events at the church, and just being able to not only being older and being able to actually understand what's being preached.
Yeah.
It has significantly impacted my life, where that I don't have the feeling of a weight on my chest and shoulders 24/7. I don't get overwhelmed anymore, and I don't if I start panicking, I just pray to God, and
Okay.
I know it'll go away.
So you're one of our new youth coaches, kind of hanging out with a youth group. And
Yeah.
we believe that's going to help them, and then also help you
Yeah.
find a way to serve. And you told me Sunday that, hey, you'd like to find some other ways to serve. So I'm excited about that, and I think God's going to use you on that. Now, how old are you, Isaac?
I'm about to be 25.
About to be 25. And what are your long-term plans?
For life, or
Yeah, for life.
well, continue serving God, and just starting a family, and finishing my doctorates and going from there.
Okay.
That's my main issues, or my main plans, but I'm just going to take it where God leads me.
Yeah, and that's the exciting thing, because you never know where God's going to lead you.
Right.
You couldn't have written this script, that's not what you would have wanted, the tough times in the Navy and falling away from God, but he's brought you back to where he wants you.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm pretty excited for you. I'm pretty excited for Isaac. And hey, we'd like to get to know everybody in our church, and I can't do this with everybody, but you have a story you'd like to tell, about how God worked in your life, how you came to faith in Jesus, or what he's doing right now. I'd like to do this on a regular basis and show one to the church every so often, so maybe even every week in our newsletter. So if you've got a good story, we'd love to hear it. Isaac, I'm excited for you, because I really personally think that God has some big plans for you. I don't know what that is exactly. You don't know what that is exactly.
No.
That's a neat step, wherever he leads, you said. And when we're following his lead, God does some good things. So thank you for telling us your story.
Thank you for having me.
And I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're part of our church, and
Me too.
you're an important part of our church, and I'm glad for that. So thank you very much. Hey, let us hear your story. We want to be more than just an event that people go to. We want to be a family, and it helps if we know each other's story. Thank you. Remember who we are at Avondale Baptist Church. We love God, we love people, and we follow Jesus, and we want to make that real. Thank you, and God bless you all.
God bless.
Thank you, Isaac.